Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to tunnel using Linux Mint. And you can use other Linux distros such as Ubuntu if you wish. Now, while we're going to be SSH tunneling, we're also going to be using Proxy Chains. And the reason for using Proxy Chains is it allows us to set a custom DNS, which is, in my personal opinion, fantastic. It also prevents us from having to manually enter the information in to Firefox. So that's a huge plus. We'll begin by installing Proxy Chains by entering in this command. And we enter in our root password in order to install Proxy Chains. Once it's done installing, we can move on to configuring Proxy Chains in order to use our SSH tunnel. So we do that by editing the file using nano. You can use vim or gedit, whichever you choose. And the default is going to be Tor, but we're not going to be using Tor. We're just going to go ahead and enter in our SSH tunnel port, which is 8199. And you can change that here. You can use like 3545 if you want, but I'm just going to be using 8199. And yes, the port can be as random as you like it to be. That's completely up to you. So once we're done editing the configuration file, we can go ahead and save it. Alright, and now we're going to change the DNS that Proxy Chain uses. Alright, so we paste in this command, and we see this line says DNS underscore server equals. So let's go ahead and delete this portion and enter in this DNS server. Now I'm going to be using the Swiss Privacy Foundation's DNS server. You can use Google's or whichever one you'd like to use. I personally want to use Swiss Privacy Foundation since they're all about privacy, which is what we're trying to shoot for. So you can go ahead and save changes once you're done. Okay, so let's go ahead and make an SSH tunnel using this command. So once again, -d is going to be our port. -p means the port that which you're going to connect to the server using SSH. If you just bought the server, set it up, and it's running, it's online, and you haven't made any alterations, your default port is just going to be 22, so you're not going to need that -p. I changed the SSH port number on this server for security purposes, so that's completely up to you. And right after that command, you enter in the username. I'm going to be using root, and then at the domain, I'm going to be using the IP address. So once we enter that in, it's going to ask us for a password. Now, if you enter in the wrong password, it's going to ask you for the correct password again, just so you know. And then once you enter in the correct password, it's going to do just that. It's not going to give you any feedback or anything like that. So that means we're good to go now. Now, opening up another terminal window, I did that by pressing Ctrl-Shift-T. We're going to go ahead and run Proxy Chains by typing in Proxy Chains and then Firefox. And it's going to go ahead and open up Firefox with the SSH configuration that we set in the configuration file, which is 127.0.0.1, or in other words, localhost, and the port number 8199. And as you can see right here, the 77.09148, that is the DNS server of which we sit, which is great. It's working out. And now we can surf the web as we want. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Privacy Foundation, the Swiss Privacy Foundation, to show you what it's all about. There are other organizations like this that offer private DNS servers. So as you can see, they offer 2, and then IPv6, and also, of course, the DNS port number, which is 53. So that's pretty cool. You want to use a DNS server, like a different one, for DNS leaks. So we can go ahead and test that by typing in like DNS leak and use one of these sites in order to find out if our DNS is leaking. And let's see. You can go ahead and just pick one, or pick multiple. It's really up to you. I'm trying to find the one that I like. There is a personal preference with that. So as you can see, it's loading slowly. Don't be alarmed with that. That's just the server processing information. It really depends on what kind of server that you get. I just got a basic server. I pay like $20 a year, so it's a lot cheaper than a VPN. So that's pretty awesome, in my opinion. And this is the one I was looking for. So as you can see, it found the DNS 77.109, which was the one that we set. So everything's checking out perfectly fine. We're good to go. So we can surf the web, watch Netflix all we want. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions, leave comments, subscribe, like, the usual. Until next time, you have a good day.